Hello YouTube, my name is Willie Lacalle. Welcome back to my video channel. So today we've made up our mind that our Kawasaki 2000 1100 STX DI, which has a problem of no start, and right now what we're seeing is no spark, intermittent spark, weak spark. All that's in the previous video, part 1. So I've made the decision, and by using the manual and going through the flow chart and the block diagram and so forth, the problem is the MME, or the ECU, or the computer, the brain of the matter. And now we're in the process of taking it out. I'm going to go over a couple things real quick. I don't know, we're in the middle of a drought here in North Texas, and all of a sudden we got a cold front come through. It makes no sense. The winds just picked up big time from the south. So I'm going to try to make this as short as possible so this wind noise doesn't drive everybody crazy. Unfortunately, I'm outside, and it is what it is. So here we go. First thing I tried to do was on my little storage area here. I took all the screws out. Now I'm having a problem taking the switch off, and it appears that somebody has done this before, and this little piece right here was broken, and I'm thinking, like a conventional switch, this part over here should screw off or come off, or whatever it is, and well, it's not. So I don't want to jack it up, not sure how to take it off, so I moved on to plan B, which is just pulling out the whole assembly. There's 4 bolts, I'm sorry, that hold the whole MME assembly in place right here. I removed all 4 of these, and the whole assembly has dropped. Okay, so the whole assembly is on this bracket right here, and everything's hanging down. So basically what I'm going to do is probably disconnect this fuel line. These are the water cooling lines right here. I don't know if you can see all that. This one and this one. And we have 2 electrical lines on the back side, and there's one on the front that, man, I can't even see. So, and that one has a screw that holds it in place. So, to get it out is going to be a little bit of a contortion. Ultimately, what I really wanted was to get this out. But maybe once I get this out, I can look underneath and look up and see what it's going to take to get that out. Because as I mentioned in the first video, I also have a problem with the fuel sending unit, and now that I'm going to have this thing out and I'm going to send it out, I'll tell y'all who I'm going to send it out to, and the conversation that I had with these people, and their split-second decision that, oh yeah, it's absolutely the MME, just send it to me, I'll get that fixed for you, 3-day turnaround, get it right back to you. Man, what more can I ask for? It's July 22nd today. If I send it off someplace and it's going to be 3 or 4 week round, the whole summer's going to be over. So this old boy says 3-day turnaround. In middle to end of July, I still got all of, in North Texas, I still have all of August, a little bit left in July, all of August, September, and maybe into October before I even think about the water starting to get cold. So here we go. This is where I'm at. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short right now. I'm gonna take this clip inside and see what it sounds like. Make sure that this air is not just totally jacking up this video, and if it isn't, well, we'll keep going. But either way, the MME is coming out. For those of y'all that are cheering me on, wanting to see this thing get fixed because YouTube got the same issue, well, here we go, y'all. We're going to get mine going, and then we're going to get yours. Right on. Little switch. That thing is hard to get out, and I don't want to tear it up. I think you understand why I don't want to jack it up. Alright, we'll come back here to the next video, or the next section of this video. Alrighty, YouTube. So we're going to start disconnecting things. First thing is this cable here, which goes to the stator. I guess it's just pinch the ends and pull it out. I've had it out before, so I know it comes out. There you go. Number one. This one I haven't had out yet. Same thing, pinch the ends, wiggle, wiggle. Should come out. Feels like it is. Alright, 2 cables off. Man, I guess I should have had a screwdriver here with me. We'll go grab one right quick. Introduce y'all to Kitty Kitty. Kitty Kitty. Meow, Kitty Kitty. Meow. Yeah, so this is the Fortrex that I've been working on. Been putting on a longer shaft on it because it had a short shaft, and I'm going to put it on my pontoon boat. And here is the SL 750 motor that I pulled the jugs off of, and try to figure out what's locked up. Well, it's definitely the crankcase that's locked up. I got a video on that too. Got a video on the Fortrex. Fortrex one's published. Still need to finish it up. The 750, I haven't put that one out yet, but I will probably today. So as you can tell, we got a lot going on around here, including fixing fences and working with cows and still trying to live life, and all the issues that come around with the farm. So I've had this off before, verified that when I turn the key or the start button that the gas flows. So you know that verified that our problem is not the fuel pump. It's coming out, y'all. Just slowly comes out a whole lot better when you got it mounted and you use this for leverage. Right now I'm just trying to get it out slowly and not cut myself up with the screwdriver. I think we're about there. Also, these are cheap little plastic fittings over here. You want to be careful you don't break that. Alright, there's our fuel line. It's off. Let's try to get that out of our way. Alright, I hope I got this camera pointed right and I'm not jacking y'all out of any of the excitement here. Okay, here's our first cooling line we're going to pull off. And after I get this thing out of here, you know, right now my main focus is to get this thing out of here, get it packaged up and get it out and going. Alright, it's going to be at least a week or so before I see it back. 2 or 3 days there, you know, 2 or 3 days with him, 2 or 3 days back. So in the meantime, while we're sitting here waiting on the goods to come back. Alright, there's our first cooling line taken off. As I was saying, while we're waiting for it to come back, I'm gonna go in and check all these cooling lines and figure out where the plug is. I don't know for sure that there's a plug or a restriction or anything like that, but you know, from everything I've read and suspect is that these things overheat. Why do they overheat? Probably because they don't get sufficient cooling. So you know, there's got to be some type of restriction, and if not, well, we're going to verify that there isn't. So which is absolutely the right thing to do before we mess around and spend the money and do the work and put a new one in there just to jack it up as well. Alright, so another thing I've heard out there is that there's a modification which I'm probably going to end up doing. I just need to talk to this old boy for a minute and verify that, you know, that's what he thinks should happen, is add an external drain line. Alright, so apparently this thing is on some type of a closed loop. Well, it would make more sense, you know, we're not all about recirculating. It would make more sense that whatever's going through here goes out, you know, kind of like through this little weep hole right here, which I need to verify that it's weeping correctly. So by adding a secondary weep hole that's dedicated to this thing, then we eliminate, or at least get a visual that this thing is draining, right? It's just like your boat motor. You start it up, and this is what you should do, right? The outboards, you start them up, and you always check to make sure that you got water coming out your weep hole, so that you're not going to overheat your engine. Because once that alarm goes off, basically you're taking, you know, years of life off your motor. Is that what you want to do? Nah, not at all. It's not me. Alright, I pulled this out of the mount just to get it out of the way. In fact, I'm going to take these dang clips are notorious for falling off. Let's just get them out. Once we get into the Never Land down there below, there's no telling if we're going to get it back. Alright, so we got all that taken off. This fuel line seems to be in our way. There you go, that's the return line. Get this thing turned around a little bit. Hey, look there. Alright, so that looks like an Allen bolt. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is pull that bolt out, take this connector off. Then this whole thing should come out, and then we'll see about getting it off the mount. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this thing short for a second. Go find Allen's set, download what I do have, make sure that, you know, everybody up on my head here is seeing what I'm seeing and not the cover of my Polaris over there while I'm talking and showing you things, and then we'll go from there. Just a quick visual of this EMM, and I was cracking myself up as I was downloading this video thinking, man, I may call this a MME, but if I did, I'm sorry y'all. It's definitely a EMM, right? Or ECU, or, you know, computer, or whatever you want to call it. I guess you can even call it an MME if you want, but as long as we're all talking apples and apples and not oranges. So just, you know, a quick visual of it. It looks good. That cracks me up, because just the external visual of it doesn't say anything. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing down, go get some Allen wrenches, get that thing off, and, you know, show y'all the rest of this fun stuff right here. Alright y'all, be back in just a second. Alright YouTube, had a little oopsie here. I came back with the tools and I heard some water running, and I got to looking, and it was fuel coming out of my fuel filter. So I got a bunch of fuel down in the bottom of my jet ski. I don't know if you can see it. I say a bunch, I don't know, a cup or so, maybe more. So, you know, those are the things that happen. So I found me a piece of fuel hose, and I'll show you here in a little bit. Stuck a bolt on one end and put it into the open end of that fuel filter, and hopefully that'll stop, and then we'll soak up all that gas. You know, that's not what I want to see, but you know, those are the things that happen. Good thing is that we didn't walk away for the evening and come back tomorrow and the whole 14 gallons worth of fuel was down there, just a couple cups. So all right, like I said, it was an Allen wrench. Loosened it up, pull it out, inspect all those real quick. Everything there looks good. Try not to get everything put down into the fuel down there. See if this thing will come out, or what it's going to take to get it out. Got this hose over here. That's got one electrical connection. Looks like it's still left to go. This is the input to the fuel filter. Have to pull that out. But in the meantime, we'll just kind of get this thing out of here if we can without jacking anything up. I'm not sure what this thing right here is, but I'll figure it out and let y'all know. We got to disconnect it too. So that's out of there. The only thing left is this fuel line, which is the actual fuel line coming into the filter, right? We'll get that taken care of, and then we're out. We're out, y'all. We are out. How cool is that? And you know, maybe we won't mess with that because the bracket doesn't matter. We need to take this off the bracket. In fact, we're just going to go ahead and leave that fuel line on there. This is what I was talking about. So the fuel was coming out of the fuel filter. I just put a piece on there. This is the only size piece I had. I didn't want to cut it up. I put a bolt on the other end of it. And why was it dripping? Well, you know, here's the, I don't want to sound like a smart ass, but you know, a little physics. Our fuel tank is up here. Up here where it was mounted, it's above the fuel tank, so it's not going to drip. Once we had it laying down on its side down towards the bottom, it's below the fuel tank, and that's why it emptied out. Alright, everybody knows that kind of stuff, so. But in case you didn't and you're wondering, that's what it is. This big old donkey thingy over here. Let's cut that down some. So 1, 2, 3 bolts, and this thing should come out. Should. That's the magic words. Man, y'all, I'm so pumped. I'm just thinking about doing this in reverse and getting ready to get this thing fired up, and man, what an awesome day that's going to be, which is right around the corner. Alright, so there's a little spacer in here. Make sure you don't lose your spacer. And that there. Get this out here. Go ahead and remove this thing. Man, how exciting, y'all. Exciting. Alright, so here's the EMM. All that and a cup of tea. Let's get these spacers out of there so we don't lose them. We need to keep them, right? You know, looking in here, you know, I work on multi-million-dollar pieces of equipment in my lifetime. You know, electronics, mechanics, and you know, certain things you look for. Looking in here, I see a little debris. Look like at one time maybe this thing got wet, or maybe that's just old grease, or who knows. But you know what? I guess what the point I'm trying to make is I don't see an external problem to this thing. I do see that, you know, these screws have been tampered with, so somebody's been inside this thing before, meaning it's probably been repaired at one point or another. And here's our part number 586554, and it's got a serial number on there, and it's a Fitch engine management module. And I don't know if you can see through that. I'll move this thing around, but basically I see daylight on the other side, so if there's a plug, it's not in here. You know, it's got to be on those lines themselves. So, alright, YouTube, I know that a lot of the times on this video you don't see what I'm seeing because of the sun and the shade, and so I'm going to move around and try to get you know, make sure you get a view of this thing in case you didn't on the first time. And here in the dark, over here towards the light, I don't know. So right now what I'm going to do is get this thing packaged up, and it's Friday already, too late to get it to the post office. I think they close at 3 o'clock here in town, but tomorrow they're open 9 noon, I think. So I'll have this thing packaged up and ready to get out, so that tomorrow it's on the road. And you know, we got the ball rolling on this project, and man, pumped, y'all. I am so pumped. I'm really digging this jet ski. You know, I've had several jet skis in the past. These Polarises, I know them pretty good. This Kawasaki, it's all new to me, but I'm becoming quite intimate with them quickly. A quick little story. First Kawasaki I rode years ago, man, I loved that thing. It was a blast. It held a couple people on there real nicely. You know, it was comfortable, it was fast, it was maneuverable. These Polarises, I have a blast on them. They're like little pocket rockets, but they're, you know, they're semi-comfortable. They're not I'm gonna say they're, even though they say 2-seaters, they're just built for one person. You know, when you get to a stop, they're real tippy, unstable. They roll over a lot easier than some of these others when, you know, you get real crazy on them, which man, I did get crazy on them. That was fun. So alright, I'm gonna stop this video now. Maybe see if I can get you to look down in there and see the gas that is collected down in the bottom. Doesn't look like a whole lot. I don't even think it's a cup worth, well, maybe a quarter cup. Still more gas than I want to see in there, but you know, that's not bad. And it doesn't look like we got it on any electrical connections or, you know, anything of importance. It just dripped down into the lower bowels of this machine. And next thing also I'm going to do is kind of look up in there and see about this switch, so I can get this whole thing out of here, so I can try to get to that sending unit and see if I can. Let me try to get you off my head here and take you for a little tour inside this thing. Alright, so up in there somewhere, of course I can't see what you're seeing, but there it is. Right in there is our fuel pump and our sending unit. The sending unit is the one on the left, and you know, that needs to come out, and in order for it to come out, it has to come straight out the top. So as I was saying, I was getting a warning and fuel. Since I couldn't get past that, I don't know if I was getting overheat signals or, you know, anything that was telling me that this MME was getting hot. So I definitely, before I get this I said it again, didn't I? MME. Before I get this EMM back, I want to get that fuel sending unit either corrected, fixed, or modified to where it always shows full, so I can get past the it's always, you know, a fuel warning issue. I don't want warnings on there. You know, I don't want to get desensitized to the warning. I want that as soon as I see a warning signal, or anybody that's on my jet ski having a blast sees that warning signal, that it means stop, get back, put this thing up, we need to check it out, because I don't ever want to go through this again. Of course, they may not be interconnected at all, but I want that sensitivity to stay there, right? It's just like working on $1 million equipment. It's a little warning comes on, you want to shut that bad boy down before, you know, total meltdown happens. So, and in this case, you know, total meltdown is, you know, the high dollar value of work and downtime due to the EMM being down. All right, y'all, that's all we got for now. We will shut this thing down, and I will get back to y'all when the unit gets back and we go to install it together, and we go to see this thing fire up together for the first time. And at that point, you know, woohoo, life is good, or you know, we're going to roast somebody for this thing not working, which I'm absolutely sure that that's not going to be the case. All right, YouTube, thank you for watching. Soon we will have my jet ski going, and next we will be working on getting yours going. All right, thank you for watching. Willie La Calle. A little tour of the farm there as I shut us down. All right, YouTube, I'll show you a little shot of my chickens and my quails. Yeah, quails laying eggs. Anyway, that's not the purpose of what I'm coming back for on this little clip. Basically, I want to let y'all know I wiped up all the gas out of the bottom of the jet ski. Yeah, there was a bit there, maybe a half a cup. Anyway, we got it all out. I stuck my hand up inside there to try to figure out what's going on with the switch and how to get it out. And best I can tell, there's a locking nut on the switch. And I'm kind of using the camera to see it, if that is actually the case. I'm going to move this thing around a bit, and hopefully I get a good shot of that. And you know, I'll look at it here in just a minute and be able to figure it out. But it looks like the locking nut, you know, where I was trying to, and somebody else before me was trying to unlock it from the top, is actually down on the bottom, right? So you unscrew the locking nut, and I'm assuming, right, I'm just assuming because I haven't seen, I just felt that once you unlock that, this whole thing comes out. You unplug it, and then we can get this thing out. And again, the purpose for that is to try to get to our fuel sending unit. So let's see, I don't know if we get a good shot of this, but there's the bottom of it, and all the fuel's out of it. Again, our fuel sending unit. The bigger one is the fuel pump. And one more shot of this switch, hopefully a good one, so I can see, because I haven't seen it. I just felt it, the locking nut. I could stick a pair of pliers or something up in there, and I tried loosening it with my hands. That's not happening. And then you know, we'll kind of go from there. So all right, this is definitely the end of this video, and once I get that figured out, I'm gonna put this back inside and wrap up all these nuts and bolts and parts and pieces and tools, close her up, cover her, and deal with packaging that EMM. And I realized that when I saw the video that I tried showing y'all the pin outs and the connectors and all that, and all you got to see was a bunch of ground. So I'll pull that out, and I'll take another shot of everything I was trying to show you as well, and I'll add that to the end of this video. And my apologies, but you know, sometimes that's as good as it gets. All right, YouTube, have a great day. Okay, here's the SL750 that motor came out of, and again, that's not the purpose of this little clip. Purpose of this little clip is to show you the EMM up close again. Hopefully you can see through what I was trying to show you earlier. See through the cooling fitting and see that there's, you know, bright sky on the end of it, basically telling us that that's not plugged up. And then we were looking inside these connectors, and you know, we can see a little bit of funk in there, but not bad. You know, is that old wet connections or dried up grease? Who knows? And one more time over on the opposite side. You know, nothing bad there. Nothing there that really shows me anything. And then looking at these screws, you can tell that, you know, somebody has been in them before. And one more thing I noticed before I put this up is, you know, the gap in the opening. You can see daylight through there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but so obviously this thing has been opened. And you know, I'm thinking, just for grins, I sure like to get inside this thing. And while I got you with me, maybe we'll take the top off of it real quick and just get an idea of what's inside of there. Let me get in my car here and grab a screwdriver. Oh, that's Phillips. There you go. Grab this one. We'll open it right quick just to see what's inside of it and if we can see anything. Yeah. Well, wouldn't that be nice if it's something that we happen to see and we can deal with, and not even have to turn this thing around, you know, send it out, which I doubt, because, you know, all the other ones I've seen are all full of goop, and there's no way of doing anything with them. But, you know, who wants to send this off, spend the money, and not think that we didn't at least give it a fair shake, right? Okay, so screw 1, screw 2, screw 3, screw 4. Let's try to take this thing off now. Yeah, put you down just a second. Stuck on there with the goop, right? That's what's going on. Trying not to jack anything up here. And, you know, we can see, we can look in there. Just about got this cover off. Again, trying not to jack anything up here. Alright, here we go. Other than this big old blob of whatever that is, you know, there's nothing. There's nothing there that shows us anything. You know, probably pull all this out. It probably comes off. You know, that there's nothing there that we can see or play with at this point. So, you know, I'm going to put this thing back on and say that we gave it a fair shake, and spend my time and effort on getting it boxed up and shipped out tomorrow. And now this is definitely the end of this clip. And man, thank y'all so much for watching, and keep your fingers crossed. Next time we talk, at least over this jet ski, it'll be putting it all back together and getting her started up, and maybe even a little test run. My work schedule is kind of crazy, but every 6 weeks now I have a week off, and that's definitely, I got 5 more weeks before I have my next week off, and that's when we're going to play hard. In between now and then, I get a couple days off here and there, and if we get this thing rolling before then, which I'm sure we will, we'll take it out as well. So, all right, YouTube. Thanks again for hanging with me. The EMM saga continues, and we're going to get it boxed up, sent out. And again, like I said, hopefully we'll be running here for long, and we'll get yours running as well. Have a great day. Willie Lacalle. Right on. Bitch engine management module. Part number 586554. Have a great day.